Greetings and welcome to the Astronomy Picture of the Day podcast. Today's picture for April 20th of 2025 is titled the Orion Nebula in visible and infrared. So what do we see here? Well, here is a close-up view of the Orion Nebula, and it's taken at various different wavelengths, including visible light and infrared light. And putting those two together give us a better idea of what is happening at this famous nebula. Now at the center of this nebula, a cluster of stars is beginning to form. And the four brightest stars are called the trapezium. Those are the four very bright and hot stars that actually energize the entire nebula and cause it to glow. It is those very hottest stars that emit most of the ultraviolet light. And it is ultraviolet light that is needed to energize hydrogen. Essentially what they do is rip electrons off of the hydrogen atom. And then as they recombine, we see the glow of those hydrogen atoms. And that's really what we see here. Now in the visible light, we see primary color in the red part of the spectrum. But there are also lines in the infrared as well. So we can highlight a lot of the hydrogen gas here. And as we recall, hydrogen gas makes up the vast majority of the atoms in just about anything in astronomically speaking. And that includes nebulae like the Orion Nebula here. Now the Orion Nebula is really the nearest large star forming region to us, only about 1,500 light years away. So relatively close, even though it sounds like a great distance there, it is still relatively nearby and one of the better studied star forming regions. However, there are far larger star forming regions elsewhere within our galaxy and even in other nearby galaxies that we can study. So learning a little more about the one that's closest to us and allowing us to see it with the most detail helps us to better understand the overall process of star formation. And especially when we look at other star forming regions in other galaxies that are much more distant. So we like to study things that are up close simply because we can get a better image of them and see far more detail than we can something that is far more distant. So here's something that is only about 1,500 light years away is a lot closer than others that might be hundreds of thousands of light years away for some of the nearby galaxies within our own local group to many millions of light years away from much more distant galaxies. Now, as we look at the structure, we see a lot of filaments of material, and those are actually where gas is moving at high speeds and then collides into slower moving gas. So as it collides, that also helps to energize it and cause things to glow. So a process of those plus the ultraviolet light from those hot stars are what really energize the Orion Nebula and make it one of the most prominent objects in the sky. And it is one that actually can be seen with the unaided eye. So you do not need a telescope or binoculars to be able to see it. It is actually hanging down on the sword off the belt of Orion in the sky. Now it'll just look like almost a star there, a fuzzy-ish patch. But that actually is the Orion Nebula, a whole star forming region that we can observe. So that was our picture of the day for April 20th of 2025. It was titled the Orion Nebula in visible and infrared. We'll be back again tomorrow for the next picture, previewed to be galaxy sized telescope. So we'll see what that is about tomorrow. And until then, have a great day, everyone. And I will see you in class.